Either way. Wow.
Alright guys, welcome aboard the Tram. How many first timers are on board this afternoon? Welcome aboard guys, welcome aboard. Alright, my name is Charles. I will be your operator this afternoon up the mountain. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do what I can to answer these for you. If I know the answer, I'll make something up to make you feel better. Alright, we're leaving the bottom area, which sits at around 6,559. We're going to the very top, which is at 10,378. Over the course of this 15-minute journey, we're going to ascend up almost 4,000 vertical feet. We're also going to pass 2.7 miles of cable at a speed averaging about 13 miles an hour. We're also going to pass 2 different metal towers and 4 different climate zones, being Eisenhower here, Transitional Tower 2, on the big canyon that's Phoenix Island, and near the top, that's Hudsonia. This entire tram structure took 2 years to build, from 1964 to 66, at a cost of about $2 million. The first flight was May 7th of that year. The cost of the project today would be more than $30 million. Tickets back then did cost about $3 for a round trip, though. You can see the trail off to the left would be to build the first tower. They would use donks to haul the equipment. Tower 1 is at 7,500. It stands 232 feet tall, 18-degree angle wing, and it goes 40 feet deep into the mountain. At this tower, we will experience a little bit of front-to-back sway. And as that happens, you're all encouraged to say "wee" as that occurs, guys. To the left, you can see that boulder sitting up there. That angle boulder, we do call that Cannon Rock. It's roughly the same size of our cabin here at Sandia. For an even bigger boulder, way over there, perched perfectly on the other one, that's called Golf Ball Rock. That boulder is roughly twice the size of our cabins here at Sandia. We do have 2 here. One goes up, one comes down. They're both attached to that same cable system, so they both move at that same time. They were both installed, these current ones, back in 1986 for the 20th year anniversary of our tram system. They do have a capacity of about 10,000 pounds, which includes about 50 people, as well as cargo and water ballast. We take water up every evening. We supply our wells up top. Our tanks can hold up to about 1,000 gallons per cabin.
Mommy, not that high yet.
We'll be hitting our 47th year anniversary.
I'm scared to hear what's
pretty
high.
soon. As well as we had our 40th millionth customer last year. Looking off to the left, in this trench line, you may kind of see that spire of rocks. That's called Totem Pole Pinnacle. That's an all-natural rock formation due to the water erosion here over the many years. And that's 7 stories tall from the base. Looking up from there to where those radio antennae are sticking up still, that's the peak or the crest at about 10,678. Today there's about 200 transmitters up there which handle various forms of communication. Construction on those started about in the early 30s as a way to communicate with surrounding towns. We are over the Cibola National Forest, Cibola being native for buffalo from the Tewa Nation. All this is federally protected land with such animals as mule deer to bobcats, mountain lion, coyote, and black bear. Down below you might come across, here. You might come across various kinds of reptiles, lizards, snakes like that, quail, roadrunners, rabbits, stuff like that. Up top there's squirrels, chipmunks, porcupine, raccoon, deer, skunk, foxes, stuff like that. And of course hawks, ravens, falcons, turkey vultures, and golden eagles flying about. A couple seconds here, we'll be coming up on the second tower. Tower 2 is at 8,550. It stands 80 feet tall, which makes Tower 2 unique. It was built primarily with helicopters. They flew about 2,000 or so flights just for this second tower alone. All in all, there were about 5,000 flights throughout the entire length of this tram system. Coming up on our left-hand side, guys, will be our sister cabin. They're all encouraged to wave and take pictures as they pass us because they're doing the same to you as well. This will be the center point of the cable system over Domingo Baca Canyon, and they're crossing us at the same speed of 13.6 miles an hour.
Wow, yeah, they do.
Alright guys, welcome aboard. We are now at this point, at the highest point of our journey, about 961 feet off the ground. This height's almost the same as the Empire State Building. And what we learned from the more rowdier customers and the ones who don't tip the bartenders, it's about an 8-second drop down to the ground. Area below us, those trees could be about 100 to 110 feet tall. That is the Canadian Highlands down below, and that's where we still can see some bear action and some deer as well. A lot of black bears seen last year. I've seen one so far, 2 weeks ago. Right. Looking at the Sandias themselves, primarily it's comprised of granite, which is about 1.4 to about 2 billion years old. Mixed in with this ancient granite is that pinkish mineral called feldspar. That feldspar reflects setting sunlight, giving up a pinkish reddish glow. You can see this light effect from about maybe the west side, somewhere around that distance. Some of the local historians do believe this light effect named the area, as Sandia means watermelon in Spanish. Up top, there's additional sediments of limestone and sandstone deposits. From about 25 to 300 million years ago, there was a shallow seabed in this area. Walking around up top, you may even come across some old seashells still on top of this mountain. The land did drastically change when tectonic plate shiftings occurred, as well as fault lines, which ran from about Colorado, New Mexico, down to the panhandle of Texas, ripped the land apart, raising up the Sandias minus water erosion, and then dropped the original valley floor about 20 to 30,000 feet beneath the current valley. So in the eyes of geologists, where that bottom valley now is, the very top of this mountain range, this area is slightly higher than Mount Everest. Albuquerque, the mountains are probably about 3/4 up where the valley is. Down into this rock canyon down below, you might see little bits of scrap metal down there. That scrap metal is a result of an old 1955 plane crash that happened here before the tram was built. It was a TWA flight, so it is called TWA Canyon. It consists of pieces they couldn't remove, like bits of the fuselage, landing gear, stuff like that. It was a Martin 404 built for about 60 people, twin prop plane. There was about 3 crew members, rest all passengers. Looking up from there this way, top far left part of the mountain, you might stick a little box or a little cabin up there. That's a little stone cottage called Kiwanis Cabin, built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the late 30s during the Great Depression. It was built out of limestone from the mountain. And the Civilian Conservation Corps was here doing roadway work, planting trees, stuff like that, and that was one of their projects. It's about a 3-mile hike round trip to see it up close. It offers good view of the surrounding area. Forestry Service has already removed doors, windows, and boarded up the fireplace, so it doesn't have too many residents lately. Exactly. Alright. On top of the mountain there there's two buildings up here for you, which are the High Finance Restaurant and the Four Seasons Information Center. Both of these buildings have restrooms and water available for you. If you are looking for the restaurants, follow the red deck and the globe lights down to the left. It's not hard to miss. But if you find animals and trees, you obviously missed it.
Oh yeah, so I got it.
The view from up top is about 11,000 square miles around us, which is 9% of the total view of the state. Temperature-wise, it's a good 20 difference from down below. So it's probably about a good high mid-30s up here with no wind, so it's not that bad up here.
Oh, look at it.
Our cabins do run about every 15 minutes of each other, with small delays in between based on population up top and down below. These waits can be no longer than 5 to 15 minutes. And keep in mind as well, as we were coming up, if you didn't see it, there is a wildfire burning a couple miles north of here. So there are fire restrictions in place up here. There's only one designated smoking spot on top of the mountain, which is in the north cubby of our upper building. And that's the only spot to have smoking up here. Since we got less than 60 inches of snow up here this year, it's a tinderbox up here. So as you're walking the decks and you see anyone else smoking out of the area, just be proactive, let them know, put it out and go over to the deck area. Help us out a little bit, guys.
Why are you going slow?
As we do come into this upper terminal, we might have a series of little bumps. Right about now. After we come into contact with those black bumpers in front of us, there'll be one more slight tap. We'll be letting you out on that side of the cabin over there. But before we unlock and pop our doors, we'll need the bottom cabin down below to